Alright, let's do this. Let me get my watch. Alright, let's go. Box number 262. Ow. Oh. Alright, let's begin. I thought I saw one. 1956 Denver. Week penny number 1. Alright, that 1 week penny. We're going in blind. Oh, 9. Nope, no, Edie. 1948 Denver. We play number 2. Doing good so far. I love this one creator that I'm watching called Exploring Abandoned Mines in Unusual Places. No bullshit, no editing, just a guy exploring caves, that's it. You get what you come for. 17 Philly. 17 Philly. Woody. In Philly. I don't care what anybody says. If I ever explore a cave, I'm doing a buddy-buddy system. Because I don't want to just fall and die and bleed out. I don't want to fall and die somewhere and bleed out. And literally not be able to move. That sucks. Like, just sitting there, dying, waiting. And nobody will help you. I'd have someone come with me, man. That's just, ugh. I don't care how tough anybody thinks they are. Just buddy up when you go caving. Just buddy up. You may think you're tough going alone sometimes, but you won't be laughing when you're dying in the bottom of a 200-foot drop. Actually, if you survive a 200-foot drop, man, I wish that drop killed me if I was going solo, because I want to sit there and suffer. Canadian penny. Testament. $17.30. Ten rolls in, we should have 2 beat pennies, and indeed we do have 2. Let's keep going. There's a wedding. Oh, 9. $17 Philly. Philly. There's no 9. Hello, viewer. How's it going? 17 Philly. Hello, Pinecone. Move. Really? Yep, 1946 Denver. We pay number 3. Hope you're doing good today. Pinecone. So we every time we get to freaks out and 17 Philly. Another Weedy. Another Weedy. (1956) Denver, 1958 Denver, Wheat Pennies number 4 and 5. Back. There you are. Oh. It is so hot in America right now. I've heard of that game. Is that a horror game or something? It's a ghost game. Ooh. $17 killing. You have to identify the ghost type. Ooh. $20 rolls in with chef, 4 wheat pennies. We got 5. Have you ever seen the video creepy sounds captured in abandoned mine while reviewing True Light Flashlight on YouTube, where this guy goes into a mine and hears weird sounds? It's one of the creepiest videos on YouTube, in my opinion. I like how this guy literally hears those creepy sounds. He's like, I'll hold my beer. Oh, I like the video comments. They're like, oh, wow, imagine being a demon for hundreds of years, only for somebody to call you, it's just error snakes. It's called Creepy Sounds Captured in Abandoned Mine. And it's by a YouTuber called Exploring Abandoned Mines in Unusual Places. Dude, yeah, that is unnerving. Dude, I love this content creator. You might have seen his video from, like, top 10 spooky shit, like, like... Someone put a fake diamond. But have you seen it? Wait, did you just see it? Did you hear the sound? Like, you actually heard the sound. That's creepy as shit. Ooh. 1930 something. 1930, that... Is that a D or an S? Dude, am I missing any 30s? Nope, I have every single 30. So it won't, it is, let's see. A 30 Denver is 40 million and a 30S is 24 million, of which I have both of them. What is this? It looks more like an S. Unbiasedly speaking, it looks more like an S. Nah, that's a Denver. Yeah, look. The curve. The curve. Yeah, that's a Denver. 1930 Denver. $1930 Denver, wheat penny number 6. 1930 Denver, and that is Wheat Penny number 6. Not a bad find. Yeah, I thought it was like a 1910 Denver, which, especially for my, oh yeah. 1910 has to be rare. I don't know why I said 1910 Denver, my dumbass. They started making 19... The first Denver Mint was struck in 1911 for a penny. The first Denver penny. 1910 as 6 million. That's going to be hard to find. That's rare. Yeah, because what I've heard is that asbestos is like this crystalline substance, and it just gets in your lungs and just tears it up. The fall of asbestos is something to be studied. A wonder material, a miracle material, and how it fell to grace, and it was exposed for how horrible it really was. Oh no. Oh, see a 51. Is Canadian penny. 1951 Denver, Wheat Penny number 7. Be back. Pine cone. But, you should look up Winnenum. Give me a second. But, you know what I actually thought about a couple days ago? Is that, if you actually don't know, this is true, you can look it up. Cigarettes contain polonium, which is a rare and radioactive element. As of note, polonium is a very toxic radioactive material. It is not metallically toxic, but it's radioactively toxic. And here's the thing. It gets in your lungs when you smoke it through a cigarette. And you want to hear where it gets worse? Do you know what polonium decays into? Lead. Oh, and also, polonium, when it suffers radioactive decay, it's going to undergo mostly alpha decay. If you don't know what's wrong with alpha, alpha is the most damaging, especially when the source is in your body, which is exactly what, you know, happens when you smoke. You literally... If you ask me, the worst thing you do with a radioactive material is ingest it. If it's one thing to go near one and have it exposed on the outside, but once it gets inside, there is no shielding. The full energy of the alpha particles will be unleashed onto your body, and it will wreak havoc. Because alpha particles are actually the most damaging. They're more damaging than gamma and beta. But the good news about them is that they can't go far. But if they're in the body, that's another choice. But how much radiation? So let's see. Smokers have polonium-210 and lead-210. Polonium is again, you can actually find it in tobacco, because tobacco has a good ability to retain polonium. I'm going to say something, and I'm actually going to cook on what I'm about to say, in my opinion. It's funny how a lot of Americans are scared of nuclear reactors, but they will willingly ingest radioactive material into their lungs. All these Americans are so scared. A lot of these Americans that are afraid of radiation and nuclear waste. Everybody's so scared about nuclear waste, but everybody smokes. Did you know, or a lot of people smoke, did you know that cigarette butts are the most littered item in history? 4.5 trillion. Now, I heard that from Kyle Hill, and I validated it. Yes, 4.5 trillion. That's an average of 500 per person. That's insane. Oh, yeah, I love reactors, too. That's my grandma. I'm going to guess Australia uses the superior PWR, pressurized water reactor. 09. Yes, you are absolutely correct. Nuclear. Oh, crap! That's old. 1920s. Oh, that's an old. I have that one. 1920s. 46 million. That's good. Fine. Nice. 3415. Give me a second, chat. 003415. Alright, 1920s, Wheat Penny, number 8. Yeah, then coal. You're correct. You are absolutely correct. You know what I cannot understand? And I made a post about this, and this is true. Coal, you ready for this? You're not going to believe me when I say this, but according to Statista, brown coal kills... Brown coals roughly 36 people per terawatt. Now, okay, 09. What is a terawatt? A terawatt is a trillion watts. A terawatt is about a million? Tera, giga, mega. A terawatt is a million megawatts. Pretty sure. Terawatt is a terawatt's a million. Yep, it is. And coal kills... Brown coal kills 36 people per terawatt hour. Do you know how much nuclear kills? People are so scared about nuclear. Nuclear kills 0.04. Here, give me a second. Deaths per power source. Do you know what? You want to hear something interesting? Do you know how many wind turbine technicians died in 2024? 270 worldwide. Those are deaths that are not acceptable. However, let me tell you this. In the past 20 years, coal has killed 600,000 Americans. That's America. That's not the world. That's America in the past 20 years. And keep in fact that America as a country has been burning coal for, 150 plus years? That's the last 20. In the last 20 years, let's just do quick math, right? 700 people worldwide times 20. And that'd be 14,000 people if the rate was consistent. 14,000 people dead. Versus 600,000. By the way, okay, you ready for this? 1 divided by 0.04. 1 divided by 0.03. Ready? Are you ready? Ready for this? I did a calculation. For every person, for every person that the nuclear industry kills, 1,000 people die from the brown coal industry. 1,090 to be exact. And you know what? I agree with Kyle Hill on this thing, right? Think about nuclear waste. If you avoid it, you're never going to see it. But every day that you breathe in, every second, every breath that you take in your existence, you breathe in you breathe in over a century, over 2 centuries of coal emissions. Radioactive materials will get less toxic over time because they decay. That carbon dioxide that's in the air, all those the stuff that's in the air, it's going to stay there forever. It will never get less toxic. And I really find it funny how so many people, like, again, they criticize wind. Oh my gosh, look at the leaky petroleum out of the... Look at the leaky lubricant. Wow, congratulations. Moving parts need lubricant? What are you going to tell me next? Sky's blue? But they'll worry so much about lubricant and wind turbines, but they don't even pay attention to the pesticides that poison our waterways. Which I always say to people, like, I do not get how people are against wind. Controversial opinion. I think we should switch to a power source that kills less people. I don't think. And like guys, hear me out. I don't think humans should have to go into a dark hole and dig rock just to power another person's home. Okay, 30 rolls in, we should have 60 pennies. 30, we should have 60 pennies. We got 8. I will say, even as a wind person, I will say this: nuclear is where it's at. Nuclear. I don't want to say nuclear is the best industry. I want to say wind. Now, I will say this: this is not because I like wind. There's only 2 cons to nuclear. One, it's obscenely expensive. Actually, there's 3 cons. One is the cost. Nuclear is unfortunately the most expensive per kilowatt to produce. 2, it's got a lot of emissions. But I will say, from the emission standpoint, once you get... they're like wind turbines. Once you put in the emissions to build them, they're not going to produce anymore. And 3, the waste. I will say, in like Illinois, how we store our nuclear waste, we put it in basically 3-foot thick, or roughly a meter thick, concrete reinforced caskets. And they are very safe. You can barely detect them on the outside. Also, people really don't... Waste is safe because you can put it in the ground and it decays, yeah. Oh, but the earthquakes, we're going to put it... They put that stuff in seismically inactive areas. You think we're just going to be burying waste in the San Andreas Fault? You know what? I'd actually prefer nuclear waste, because at least with nuclear waste, I have a Geiger counter, and anybody with a Geiger counter can avoid it. Now, I know most people don't have a Geiger counter, but at least you can detect nuclear waste. There's a wheat penny. 1952 Denver. Pay number 9. Honestly, I will say, if you don't know anything about American nuclear technology, Pinecone, nuclear was really grown really fast until this incident called 3 Mile Island, where people basically got scared, and it was the biggest PR disaster ever. If one valve was closed at that nuclear station, we would have had more nuclear by now. At that time, wait, there's an estimate. Nuclear was almost essentially dead because of 3 Mile Island. Nobody died from it. Witty. It was an accident. And I cannot stand people that point towards Chernobyl or Fukushima. Now, I will admit this right now. You guys gotta have nuclear. You probably have at least one plant. Nuclear power in Australia. You only have one nuclear reactor, I think. Oh wait, never mind. It's never had nuclear power plant. Oh my gosh, you guys are sleeping. And the only one nuclear reactor, Opal, the third in a series of Lucas Heights, New South Wales, has been used exclusively for research. Bruh. By the way, fun fact. So, if you obviously don't know, Pinecone, I live in Illinois, and of any United States state, Illinois ranks #1 in nuclear power. 58% of our electricity is generated from nuclear power plants. I want you to remind you that we have 10 million people in this state. Essentially. We have 10 million people in this state, and 58% of them, over 5.5 million people. Oh, I think I remember hearing about, you guys got a lot of uranium and bauxite, which is a source of aluminum. Maybe a penny. Yeah, I read that once that Australia is very rich in aluminum. But, yeah, so my state has the most amount of nuclear power plants. We have 6 nuclear power plants. I can remember a couple of them. We got, let's see, Clinton, Dresden, LaSalle, Byron. Let's see. Clinton, Dresden, LaSalle, Byron. Dresden, LaSalle, Byron, Clinton. And then you had, yeah, 2 others. I can name 3/4 of all the nuclear power plants. Clinton is located just a little, not a ways a little. We have Clinton is my closest nuclear power plant. It's located, I think a little bit east of Springfield, Illinois. Then we got LaSalle, which is located way up north of Bloomington, but south of Rockford. LaSalle is so big that you can see its nuclear cooling pond on the from space. I'll show you something pretty cool. Here's Illinois, right? Do you see that little square right there? See that little square right there? That is dropped? That's Illinois. If you actually see that, that's LaSalle. What is the biggest power plant? I believe our biggest nuclear power plant is located in Arizona, and it's got like 3 reactors. But again, so fun fact, my home state of Illinois is the best nuclear power plant state in the entire United States. Again, like I said, we have 6 reactors. No other state has that many reactors. And by the way, another like 20% of our electricity comes from renewables. So we produce roughly 2/3 of our electricity clean. Oh, and Dresden plant I mentioned earlier is the biggest. Oh no, not the biggest. It is the first. It is one of the first power plants ever. I think the first privately funded one. If I'm not wrong. just copied the nuclear power plant in Japan, is the largest. Good God, that's a lot. I'm surprised the Japanese reactor, because ever since Fukushima, the Japanese people have been very wary of nuclear power. I'm not an engineer, but here's how I would fix it. In my opinion, Fukushima could have been completely prevented. 100% prevented. The best thing they could have done is, 1, upgrade their levee, and 2, move their generators uphill. The fact that they put their generators in their basement is a stupid move. I may not be a structural engineer, but I can tell you, putting your engineers below sea level right next to the sea is an incredibly stupid idea. And Chernobyl was caused because, 1, horrible reactor design, impure fuel, horrible configuration, poor technology. Oh, there's a weak penny. 1955 Philly. Weak penny number 10. Again, poorly trained staff, horrible fuel, horrible technology, garbage containment. By the way, I wanna set this straight. In America, when we build our reactors, we put them in 3 foot of concrete. Here, give me a second. Sorry, chat. I have to show you this. Where's that yardstick? I gotta show you guys. Just want to let you guys know, for reference, when in America, when we build our nuclear power plants, they're this thick. They're as thick as this stick right here. That's how thick our nuclear reactor containment fields are. 3 foot thick concrete reinforcement. Chernobyl basically shoved theirs in a shed. They shoved theirs in a tin-covered building. Oh, wow. Fukushima even took it better. Let's see. So Chernobyl released 10 times the radiation. And by the way, Fukushima did way better. Because I just searched it up. Fukushima's containment domes, 17 Philly, was 1.5 meters thick. That's 5 foot. That's thicker than that stick I mentioned. So their containment was very, very good. 17 Philly. This containment undoubtedly reduced the amount of contamination and radiation that leaked from that reactor. Canadian penny. The Soviet Union failed to properly contain their reactor. Even if it was like a meter, if they put 1 meter of concrete over that reactor, it would have been way less severe. But no, here's Wheat Penny. 1945 Philly, Wheat Penny number 11. They insisted on being cheap. Here is how I like to compare Chernobyl to cars. Imagine Chernobyl is the car equivalent of putting oil in your gas tank and driving with a wooden base frame. It's possible. Your frame could be made out of wood, and you could probably drive a little bit with oil, but it's not as sustainable in good practice. If I'm not wrong, Chernobyl, an actual reactor should use 5% enriched uranium. Chernobyl used like 2. Impure fuel. Oh no, this white neum, whatever you're talking about, it reminds of Centralia. Have you ever heard of Centralia? I'm pretty sure it's in Pennsylvania. It's in America. It's one of our biggest F-ups in our country. What is it? Centralia, Pennsylvania? Yep, it's Pennsylvania. You've definitely heard of Centralia, Pennsylvania. I have to off the maps though. Here, I'll give you the lowdown. Hold on. Alright, 10 rolls left. We should have 8 wheat pennies. We got 11. Centralia is a small abandoned town in Pennsylvania. It was once a very popular coal mining town. This ended in one fateful day. In one of the old coal veins, somebody dumped garbage in it. And of course, as a routine, they burnt it. However, one thing they failed to realize is that when they set the fire, it got out of control and it burnt its way into a mine shaft and started a fire. And wouldn't you know, this fire has been going for... It's still going today, by the way. The town is literally still on fire underground. You can apparently go there, and there's smoke coming out of the chimneys. Wittenum. Let's see. Warning, asbestos fibers and dust present may be around Wittenboom. Airborne asbestos fibers are dust. Airborne asbestos fibers and dust are a health hazard, may result in serious illness in the event of inhalation. Asbestos fiber and dust concentrations in the air increase by vehicular. Ooh. Wow, it is wiped off. Like I'm looking at a sign, and it's blocked. It's completely wiped off a sign. Like they put plates over it. And you ain't serious. That also reminds me of Pitcher. Oh yeah, that town is super decayed. Have you ever heard of Pitcher, Oklahoma? It's a really cool thing. But I'd love to tell you. So Pitcher, Oklahoma is just like... It's very similar to the town you're describing. It's an old mining town, and it's currently abandoned. Pitcher, Oklahoma was a very important town in American history. It supplied, I think... how much lead did Pitcher, Oklahoma supply in World War II for America?
I found this on the web.
I gotta get that number. On. But yeah, so Pitcher, Oklahoma. It was a lead and zinc mining town. It producing $20 billion of ore between 1970 and 1947. More than 50% of the lead and zinc used in World War II were extracted from Pitcher. From a mining district. One county supplied half our lead. That's how important Pitcher was. They are the literal reason I think there's a nickname that said it's like the mine that won the war or something. But, well, there's these things called tailings, and there's these piles of wastes. So they'll process all the ore, and then what you get is this toxic waste with some trace amounts of lead, zinc, cadmium, and arsenic inside them. And they start building up in these piles. And I'm not kidding you. Watch this. I'm going to show you a magic trick. You can literally go right here. And you can zoom in. And you can see it right there. All that white is waste. Look at this. These are entire piles of toxic metal tailing waste. Look at that. And kids would play in this too. Here, just to give you an example of how big these are. Yeah, you can already see that it's basically like completely filled in. Trees have overgrown and taken over. Look at that. Look at the scale of this. But, however, Pitcher has an interesting twist. Unfortunately, when was it? I want to get my shit straight. So basically, the town started to drain, and people started to leave as the government started to buy out all their homes, because the government, like, by the way, so here's the thing, right? When disasters like this happen, people say sell your home, but nobody wants to buy a home in an area known for toxic waste. The government has to buy you out because no one's gonna buy it. No one. Be honest. You're looking for a market. No one says, "Hey, yes, I want to live in a spot where my backyard is literally tailing waste." 1740. 1940. We pay number 12. But unfortunately, where is it? In 2008, the city's fate was permanently sealed as a tornado went all the way through Pitcher, and it destroyed any last remaining pieces of hope that the town could rebuild. Currently, Pitcher, Oklahoma remains a huge contaminated area. Like the streams are red and everything. Everything in Pitcher is just contaminated. (1953) Denver. Penny number 13. Pitcher is a sad story. The Americans, of course, stole that land from the Indians, basically built a bunch of waste piles, and then after they basically stripped all the resources out, they gave it back to the Indians. They gave it back to the Indian tribe. Can you imagine being Indians and getting your land basically taken from you, essentially, and then saying, "Okay, you can have it back. You have a bunch of waste piles on it, though. Good luck, home." That sucks. So Pitcher is a tornado mining ghost town. Also, fun fact about Pitcher. Pitcher is located roughly about within an hour's drive of Joplin, which is very infamous for the Joplin tornado that hit back in 2013. Is that a Wheatie? No, it's not. Joplin was horrible, man. West Winnemem, WA. It looks like Winnemem is a little fart of a town. Yeah, it's a little fart of a town. Is it? Oh, I see it. Yeah. Okay, did I find any waste piles? Looks like there was some... I can see something on radar where it looks like they were burying something. Esmond. 17 Philly. 17 Philly. I will say, there is a legend, somewhat of a legend in my area. Have you heard of it? There's a company called Parsons Steel Manufacturing. And by the way, in my opinion, if I had to work for somebody for free, it would be Parsons. Here's what is amazing about Parsons. So if you didn't know, back in 2004, or no, back in 2013, in my area, oh nine, like search it up. You should really search it up. There's something that happened called the Washington, Illinois tornado, and I remember that day. That day was horrible. 3 people lost their lives and 125 were injured as an EF4 ripped right through the town of Washington, which is less than a half-hour drive from where I live. So to have a strong, significant tornado go through an area that I know is just sad. Like, if you even go there today, you can see so many new houses. They rebuilt fast, but you can definitely tell there is some new spots of Washington. But there's this place called the Parsons State. Oh no, it was in 2004. An F4 was going through Roanoke. And by the way, the Roanoke F4 is my favorite F4. Because the best thing about the Roanoke F4 is nobody was killed. There's a wheat penny. 1946 Denver, wheat penny number 14. The Roanoke EF4, the most severe thing that happened to a person, a woman needed to have her head stitched. And after she was stitched up, she was good to go. No severe injuries reported. However, I want to show you, Esther, I want to show you something that will blow your mind. I want to show you a picture that will probably shock you. So I want to show you something harrowing that will shock you. I want you to take a look at this picture. That is the remains of an entire manufacturing plant. And I'll show you where it is. That is very close to where I used to go to school at. Here it is. So this is the same plant I just showed you in that picture. It's a humble little factory. And look at this. If you look at this picture, you would say, wow, look how bad that is. But what if I told you that there were no deaths in this building? 140 people were in the building by the time the F4 ripped right through it. Not one person was killed. This is because the company owner, Parsons, installed 3 tornado shelters. Everybody got to safety, they stopped working, and immediately took shelter, and everybody survived. And you want to hear the best thing about that story? Is that the plant owner, do you know what he did after the tornado hit? He went from 3 tornado shelters to 8. That's right, this man almost tripled the amount of tornado shelters. And do you want to hear what's awesome? He paid his workers off. While his workers were trying to rebuild their families, he paid them. Absolute guy. There's a 50 now, a 58. 1958 Denver. We pay number 15. Because apparently back then, I think he had his workplace either destroyed or clipped by a tornado. And he remembered that. And when he built his factory, he built tornado shelters into his factory. $17 Philly. In my opinion, Mr. Parsons is literally everything that every boss should aspire to be. He's a kind person who actually takes safety very, very seriously, and storm safety very seriously. And he should be held. Storm safety should be held to a regard that he has. 17 Philly. A complete antithesis of that candle factory in Mayfield that was reported to block workers in the factory up to an hour before the tornado advanced, killing, 20 people? 23 people? I hope the people won the lawsuits. That candle factory's employers should be sued up the ass for that. Look at this. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't care. You can fire my ass. But if you told me, right, hey, there's a tornado, it could come here within about 15 minutes, my ass is out. Maybe it's something I shouldn't be doing. I mean, my building I work in is 53 years old, and it's decrepit to a certain degree, and it would be destroyed by like an F-Zero. I'm like, hell no, I'm out of that shit. I'm leaving. I don't care. You could fire me. I'd rather lose my job than lose my life. But also, that was 2004. In 2013, the same factory had a very close call from the EF4 that hit Washington. They took shelter. It did not hit, thankfully, but everybody was safe. And my house is 7. I think his name is Bob Parson. Here's their Facebook page. Here's the Parson. It's called Parsons Company. Let's see, what does he offer? Medical, dental, vision plans, free medical PPO operations for employees, subsidized uniforms and shop employees, paid safety equipment. That's actually a legal requirement. Short-term and long-term disability plans, paid life insurance, generous profit share plan, paid leave paid leave days available after 90 days of work, paid holiday even on probationary period, paid breaks for shop employees, paid funeral leave, 401k savings with match. Wow. What a guy. Like, I literally did a OSHA class, and I used him as an example of literally what you gotta be. He is everything that companies should aspire towards. putting my data now. It only takes 20 to 50 a year too. Wow. Wheat pennies. We got 15 of those, including 2 little uncommon ones. Bicentennials, we got 8 of those. 17 Phillies, give me a second. We got a couple of those. $20. 17 Phillies. 5 Estimates. 6 Witties. 4 Canadian pennies. No Indian heads. Indian head. I know I'm going to say a really bad joke. Indian head pennies are just like real life. They got rid of the Indian but kept the penny. That's a joke. Joke how, you know, we just got rid of people that were here first. And basically said, hey, we're going to keep it. Yay, America. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm anti-American. $475 coppers. Alright, guys. I'm gonna stream Astroneer here in a couple, maybe I don't know, like 30 minutes or so. Yeah. I might play Minecraft on Saturday. Oh, hey. How's it going, little buddy? Can you, not be in my house? Here. Get him away peacefully. This is how I don't really feel good killing spiders. Oh, 1, 2... It's only got 6 legs. Why has it got 6 legs? Go away. Yeah, he's only got 6 legs. I've never seen a spider with 6 legs before. Maybe he's got 2 fangs? Go away. Go away. I don't kill him by stopping him. I don't kill him at all, so I just blow him away with a shock blower. Alright, that is it. Tomorrow we'll have to... yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll stream in about half an hour, Pinecone. Peace.